Yo, what is up guys, Del Boy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you could smash the like button, it would be much appreciated. And if you're new here, if you could hit the subscribe button, again, it goes a long way. And before we start this video, I really wanted to say, to all of you guys, thank you very much for all of your support. It really does go a long way, doesn't go unnoticed. You guys genuinely mean the world to me. And, a lot of you guys have been here for a long time now, and you continuously show up. And, that honestly, it means a lot. I don't always say it, but it means a lot. So thank you guys for all of the support. It's much appreciated. But let's get on to Deontay Wilder. So following Deontay Wilder's loss to Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder has come out with all of the excuses in the world for his loss. One excuse is, quite frankly, the most ridiculous excuse I've heard a boxer ever give for a loss. I've got to give Deontay Wilder some credit. It's original, I'll give him that much. But one of Deontay Wilder's excuses was the fact that his costume on his way to the ring was too heavy and it weakened his legs. Obviously Deontay Wilder wore that fancy get-up where he looked like the 5th Power Ranger, and according to him that was too heavy. It weighed about 40 pounds and it weakened his legs. First and foremost, by the way, if you can't carry 40 pounds on you for a few minutes, then what does that say about your training? But regardless, it's an absolutely ridiculous excuse. Let's say for one moment that is true. Why would you put that out there? Really, it's absolutely embarrassing. It really is. I'm not one of these people who have, bashed Deontay Wilder over the head over the last few years. I've had my problems with Deontay Wilder, but I've always tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. So this is not me sticking the boot in for the sake of it, but it has to be said. The excuses he's coming out with is quite frankly embarrassing. Deontay Wilder, he got whooped, he got beat up. Fair play to the man, he took his beating and he didn't quit. But in all honesty, after that, he should have shut his mouth, exercised that rematch clause, and, strategized a game plan to beat Tyson Fury. That's how his approach should have been. He should have remained quiet, gave Tyson Fury his props, and gone from there. That's what Deontay Wilder should have done. But no, all of the excuses in the world. His ring attire on the way to the ring was too heavy. Kenny Bayless was on Tyson Fury's side. Well, I'm not sure whether you were seeing the same fight I was seeing, but to me it looked like Kenny Bayless was giving Deontay Wilder all of the time in the world to recover. He would break the clinch and he would leave it multiple seconds before he resumed the action, giving Deontay Wilder time to recover. He deducted Tyson Fury a point. The referee, as far as I was concerned, was, kind of pro Deontay Wilder, let's be honest about it. I felt Kenny Bayless did a bad job in favour of Deontay Wilder. I felt the guy was far too biased. So using Kenny Bayless as a scapegoat for your performance, again, nobody's seeing that. Online, the perception is that Kenny Bayless was basically favouring Wilder, and here we have Wilder blaming Kenny Bayless. We have Deontay Wilder throwing Mark Breland under the bus, saying that Mark Breland more than likely will not be in the corner for his next fight because he waved him the towel. Come on now. Jesus Christ, Mark Breland is there, obviously to train you as a fighter, to make you the best fighter that you can be, but he's also there to look out for you. If your trainer really cares about you like that, he's going to give you the best possible chance that you've got to win, and if it goes wrong, he's going to look out for you and throw in that towel, and that's exactly what Mark Breland did. He wasn't looking out for Deontay Wilder, the potential moneymaker, or anything like that. He was looking out for Deontay Wilder, the human being, making sure he can go back to his daughter and take care of her. That's what a trainer should do. He gave Deontay Wilder time, he gave him 7 rounds. Deontay Wilder was done from the 5th round onwards. Mark Breland gave him a couple of more rounds to try and turn it around. It wasn't happening. He made the right choice. Mark Breland played it spot on, as far as I'm concerned. I know Deontay Wilder has his pride, and, he's going to be disappointed that he was stopped, by the towel being thrown in, because I do believe that Deontay Wilder would have gone out on his shield. That's one thing I do believe. But listen, sometimes that decision has to be taken out of your hands. And I think the way Mark Breland's been thrown under the bus is disgraceful. Mark Breland's been there for a long time with Deontay Wilder. He's got his best interests at heart. And for Wilder to throw him under the bus like that, I think it's disgraceful. I get he's frustrated, but this is way too headstrong. It's way too reactionary. He should have given it time, and I think he would have realised that Mark Breland was doing the right thing. And as for JD's, Wilder's, I don't know whether JD's is Wilder's main trainer or assistant trainer. Whatever he is, that guy's a complete helmet. He's a complete prick, as far as I'm concerned. His man was bleeding from the ear. That is potentially serious. I know in hindsight it was only a laceration, but at the time he didn't know that. If I had a fighter and he was bleeding from the ear, I would be extremely concerned. Imagine you bumped your head, you fell over, you bumped your head, and he started pissing blood from the ear. You're going to be very concerned. You're going to think there's something wrong, right? Something seriously wrong. And for JD's to say that Mark Breland shouldn't have thrown in the towel, I think it's a disgrace. It goes to show what his interests are, and that is making money off Deontay Wilder. He's not got Deontay Wilder's interests at his heart, and the same goes for Shelly Finkel. I saw the video of that clown, that megamind looking fuck, basically lecturing Mark Breland that he did the wrong thing after the fight. That guy's an absolute disgrace. You want to know about Shelly Finkel? Ask Shannon Briggs. When he left him in Germany to pay his own hospital bills when he got bashed up by Vitaly Klitschko. Ask Shannon Briggs about that weasel Shelly Finkel. Absolutely disgraceful. And this whole excuse gate from Deontay Wilder just goes to show there's nobody on this man's team who's really looking out for him apart from Mark Breland. Who would advise Deontay Wilder to go out and say what he said? He must have PR people around him. Surely. This guy's a multi-millionaire. He's just headlined one of the biggest pay-per-views in America for a little while. From what we hear, that pay-per-view is going to go down as a success. Regardless of result, Wilder is still a big name. He's still got a lot of backing. Where's his PR? Where's the people around him advising him right now? Because he's making a complete fool of himself. Deontay Wilder's not the sharpest tool in the box. That's apparent. But, from an outsider looking in, I've said this for a while. I've been saying this for the longest. This guy has been taken advantage of for a long time. He really has. The guy's been poisoned in the last few years by certain individuals, a certain toxic fan base, because way back when, Deontay Wilder had none of his fans. The guys who are filling his head with nonsense and making it more than boxing. These guys should be ashamed of themselves. Absolutely ashamed, as far as I'm concerned. They've used this guy as a pawn. And, Deontay Wilder, I'm not trying to insult the guy, but he's not the sharpest tool in the box. He's going to buy into that. And I think that's been his detriment, to be quite honest. I really do. I really do. Because I remember when Deontay Wilder was on the come-up, he was just a happy-go-lucky, goofy dude from Alabama, knocking people out. The only problem I had with that guy back then was the fact he wasn't fighting anybody. But he was never this militant guy who was this political activist, anything like that. He was literally just a guy who was fighting for his daughter, and anybody can relate to that. But certain people got in this guy's ear, they poisoned him, the people around him, like his managers and etc. These guys haven't done right by this dude. I mean, Deontay Wilder needs to have a look around and look at the people who are apparently supporting him and apparently have his best interest at heart. I think they've failed. I really do. But I think Deontay Wilder's too far gone. That's not going to happen. He's too headstrong. He's too arrogant. All of these yes men have fed into his ego, and they're gonna go by what he says. But really, they're just really gonna cash him out in this third Fury fight. That's what they're doing. Deontay Wilder's gonna get cashed out. What they're saying is, how they're seeing this third fight is, if he loses, it's another big payday. It's gonna do well on pay-per-view. whatever. But if he wins somehow, he's got the belts back. Again, big pay-per-view. He goes from there. So it's a risk worth taking. You know, they're ready to cash out Deontay Wilder. They are. And I just think this guy's been used terribly by his fringe fan base who weren't supporting him way back when. Like I say, I remember when this dude was fighting in Sheffield. I was at that card. I met the dude, believe it or not. I remember when this guy was fighting in Sheffield. None of these guys were supporting Deontay Wilder. None of them. And the same people, right? I've heard a few people out there on that side of the street say that Floyd Mayweather should have done more to push Deontay Wilder and promote him. Which is ironic, because when Deontay was on the come-up, these clowns were so obsessed with Floyd, they didn't give Deontay the time of day. These guys are absolute fucking clowns, as far as I'm concerned. And it is what it is. Deontay Wilder needs to stop with these lame excuses. It makes him look weak. It makes him look pathetic. Let's be honest about it. The most pitiful excuse I've ever heard from a pro fighter. We mocked David Haye for years about the broken toe, whatever it was. This is levels above that in terms of cringy, embarrassing, etc, etc. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I was doing a live stream last night and we had a few people on, and Boxing Beats and Rhymes, he actually broke that news about the excuse. He read it out basically from Lance Pugmire. I thought he was bullshitting. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. I mean, Christ. Who is looking after Deontay Wilder right now? Nobody. They don't give a fuck. They're going to cash this guy out, and, you know, he's going to be another body on the boxing conveyor belt. That's it. Crazy. Crazy, you know? Boxing's a weird sport, man. It really is. It really is. But, yeah. Listen, I could rant all day about this. Share your thoughts below. Tell me what you think. Peace.